Hey guys, Paul here and Sally, and we're here at Emily Provincial Park, and we just arrived and we're about to set up. I just wanted to shoot this while there's still daylight and give you a little tour of the site. The site itself is fairly private. It's a semi-shade site, so it's not bad, eh?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Fairly large and reasonably private. The picnic table's over here, but I guess that can go wherever we want it. And the fire pit's back here in this corner. And this is an electric site. Our electric hookup is right down there. Therefore, we will not be needing the solar panel. I'm thinking of setting up the trailer across here because there's a roadway there, and this will provide us with some privacy. And the ground here is very uneven, although it's not as bad as Sandbanks, the site we had at Sandbanks. But you know, we will have to spend a bit of time leveling this trailer and getting things
Let's get going before it gets dark.
Well, it's already getting dark, right? I guess we better dig in. Good morning. So we got everything set up last night, and I'm just going to give you a quick proper tour of our site, which is site number 203. If you're going to bring your trailer here, you want to make sure to bring your leveling blocks, because we had to use ours. I have the tongue of the trailer, it's almost on the ground, but the rear of the trailer is up fairly high, and it slopes both this way and this way. So, but again, it is a powered site, and it's very comfortable, and it's generously big, and we like it. Also reasonably private. This one's close to the restrooms. So I'll have a look at our map, see what we're going to do today. So right now we're up in here. Site 203 is right there. We're in the Circle Campground. We're going to take a walk out here, up here, and we're going to walk the Marsh Trail this morning. And
along the beach too, maybe.
Yeah, we'll check out the South Beach too while we're at it. Sounds good. Let's go. Okay, we're at where we think is the start of the trail, and we think that because here's a picture of a guy hiking. Looks like it goes down here. So right now on this map, we're right here, and we're going to walk down this way. Let's go.
Yep, and then check out the beach.
Yeah.
I got 2 beaches, right?
Oh look, there's some sort of a boardwalk over here.
Yeah, it's going this way too. Do you want to go this way? That's the boardwalk in progression, right?
Yeah.
Should we check that out first, or do you want to continue here first?
I think we can loop around either way. Let's
Which way do you want to go?
let's explore this boardwalk.
Okay. Then we'll come back to here, right?
Yeah. So we think that September through October is our favorite time of year to go camping.
For sure.
For sure.
I think next year we're going to go every week, probably, right?
It's cool, but it's not too cold. And
oh, this is where it ends, eh? Because
this is where it ends.
Then we'll go the other way.
It's cool, but it's not too cold. The nights are crisp, so we can run the heater and dry out the air. So the boardwalk portion of the trail is closed. Yeah, that'll be a nice boardwalk trail when it's done, eh?
Yeah. That's where we came from, right?
Yeah. We'll carry on. So it's not really a very long trail. We're down here now. We're just going to walk over and have a look at the beach.
Sounds good.
This looks nice.
Yeah, it's a nice beach.
Might be a little too cool for a swim, but
Yeah.
the water looks nice and warm.
I think this is what we do there.
Is this the South Beach, I think?
This is the canoe, right?
You can put your canoe in the water here, and we'll do that a little later on today.
Yeah.
We'll drive down with the canoe, and I don't think we're going to do any swimming though.
No.
We could, but
And then you want to walk to the North Beach? That's further down, right?
yeah. It's a nice place though. It's a nice campground. So here we're at the other end of the South Beach. It's not a huge beach, but it's big enough, I think. And we're just gonna walk out here and through the campground and make our way over to the North Beach. We'll have a look around there. Okay, so this is like a picnic area that I guess that people can reserve. And so I guess if you want like a family function or company function or whatever, I think this would be a great place to have it. Something that we've been thinking about maybe in the future, sometime doing some sort of a family picnic. And this up here looks like the trail to the North Beach. Right up here.
Okay, kind of nice, eh?
So overall, this park isn't a very big park.
Wow, very small.
In fact, compared to a lot of other provincial parks,
But it's nice. For a
it may be one of the smallest, but the showers are good, the washrooms are good, they have electric hookups. It's a nice place to spend a weekend. I'd say a 5-star weekend getaway close to the city. You have your beaches, your canoeing. You can ride a bike through here. It does look like it's a bigger beach down here, maybe.
Yeah.
And I do remember seeing a playground for kids too, so it's very family friendly.
Oh, no, you can put the rent canoes here and take a few into
Okay.
the kayak.
Like if you have little kids, there's a playground here, like I said, and the beaches look like a good place to take them if you want to go swimming.
Some volleyball nets here too.
Some volleyball nets. Has an almost resort feel
It does
to
have-
this provincial park. So, I think it's very underrated. We never have a problem booking a site here, even at the last minute.
Well, I'm not sure about the summer. Like, it's easier right now, right?
Yeah, I think like in the summertime even, it usually comes up as something available.
Is it?
And whenever I've looked, but I mean, in comparison to some of the more popular parks like Sandbanks.
This is further, I think. We can check that out after, right?
Okay. And Presqu'île and Sandbanks and Bon Echo are some of the big, more popular ones that are harder to get into. But I think if you were stuck and you really needed to get away for a weekend or for, a week, yeah, I think you could enjoy a week here
Relaxing.
if you're just looking to relax. I mean, you can do the trails in about an hour. Probably,
Not eat.
yeah. Walk around the whole park in no time.
There's a couple people kayaking already there, eh?
Yeah. So yeah, you bring your canoe, bring your kayak. It's a good place for that. Apparently this is the Pigeon River, but it's full of seagulls. Yeah, it looks like they pulled in the buoys here
Also, people.
for the swimming. Probably a seasonal thing, right?
Yeah.
We were here, what, 15 years ago, maybe? I'll have to look it up. But we were here in the summertime and the swimming was fantastic. We were tenting back then. This is one of the few parks at the end of the year that you can still get a Ontario Parks bumper sticker. It's good to know. Well, I guess we'll go back and see what we're going to have for lunch. Discovered with the Gaia app that there are actually more trails here than what's on this. If you look at the park map here, it shows here. We're up here and by the group camping area, and there's some trails all like through here that aren't showing on this map. So we're walking these trails right now, and they seem to interconnect a couple of the group camping sites. Like I'm thinking this trail goes towards
looks like
an opening here, part of the group camping, and then this carries on up. Looks like it probably ends at the highway. Yeah, so at the end of this trail here now, that's clearly Emily Park Road there. And again, this trail is not shown on this map here. But let's just put this down and have a look here. Get our bearings. So we're over somewhere around here, probably around here. And this path kind of comes through here, and there's one that goes up here. So yeah, just so that you know, if you ever come to Emily Park, there's more than just the Marsh Trail. So right now we are canoeing on the Pigeon River, and it's a very calm river to paddle on, very safe. You know, the water's not too deep. I mean, you still take your precautions, wear your life jackets and whatnot, but apparently the fishing here is quite good. So we found something here on our canoe trip. From a distance we thought it was a rock, but as we get closer it looks like it's something else. It's definitely not a rock. Don't worry about that right now. We'll just sort of coast down by it. Let's get a little closer and see if we can figure out what that is. Okay, so we figured out what this thing is. This is a duck blind for hunters. So a hunter would sit in here and watch for ducks and shoot them during duck hunting season. That's exactly what that is. Alright. Look where we are, in the lily pads and in the reeds. Shall we continue our exploring? Alright. So there's a view of the beach from the water. This is the South Beach. It's also right where we put our canoe in the water, right over there. And Sally's heading right for it. The water here is a little weedy, so fine for a canoe, but you know, if you had a motorboat it might be a bit of a pain to navigate. Okay, so this here is the North Beach as seen from the water. This is the one with the volleyball nets. I don't think this beach is as wide, but it's a little deeper, so it's a little more intimate. And then down here we have the famous bridge, which we'll go and have a quick look at next. And this looks like another place in the park where people can put boats in the water. And we're right close to this bridge here that we're going to go check out. So we're finally seeing what's on the other side of this bridge. There's some graffiti down here. Oh, it looks pretty down there, eh?
Let's turn around.
Yeah.
Let's get back around.
Okay, let's just have a look. Okay. Well, we'll drift on back to the campsite. That's something else. Probably. So I'm going to show you guys my secret to building a really great campfire. So I start by peeling off all the birch bark from the wood that I buy at the campsite. And then I walk around and I find little twigs and sticks. I use that for kindling. Just whatever I see lying on the grounds of the campground. I don't go digging into the woods or nothing. Like just this stuff here that you see lying around the campsite, you know, it's everywhere. And you gather enough of these, and then you got a great foundation for kindling. And it's just, like I said, you find them everywhere. Okay, and the next thing I do is I take some of the smaller pieces of hardwood that look like they're easy to splinter off small pieces, and I take my hatchet and I go ahead and I splinter off some small pieces of hardwood. Okay, so I splintered these pieces off, and then I built my wood pile here with the smaller pieces on top and then the bigger pieces on the bottom, so I can feed the fire going bigger and bigger as I go on through the night. So, and I'll just try to arrange these kind of around this light tinder here in the middle, and I'm going to do what I call like a log cabin style. And then what this does is as a fire burns, the flames from one will feed the other, and so on and so forth on up. And I kind of close it in a bit as I come closer to the top here. It's got to be there we go. So I start by lighting the bark, the birch bark, and then that in turn will get that light stuff I picked up off the ground. Normally it burns real easy. Sometimes I gotta light it more than one place to get things going. But yeah, that birch really takes off once it's lit. Once it's lit, it's lit. It really burns fast and hot. We got a few points now of this fire. That's it's looking good. It's catching the light, kindling. It smells fantastic. And then the objective here is to create a nice foundation of coals with this fire. Look at it go now, eh? Put that one there. Get it going in the front. So you see we didn't use any accelerants, just what was available on the ground around us and what we bought from the store, just the single bag of hardwood. And I always try to buy the hardwood that has at least one piece of wood in there with birch bark on it that I can rip off. Look at it go now, eh? That's going to be a good fire. So a cool thing happened on this trip. Me and Sally, we saw who we thought was a fellow YouTuber, Mark from RV Camping Ontario, and sure enough we were out on our bikes and we found him. Him and his wife and his dogs were out there camping. We stopped, we got a picture with him. He offered me a beer, which you know, I guess I probably should have stayed and enjoyed a beer with him, but you know, it was getting on to dinner time for us, and we have our own beers. Well, this might be beer. We drink out of tin cups. We don't have anybody sponsoring us yet, but if somebody wants to, then we'd be more than happy to oblige. But then Mark told us that Anthony from Imagine Your Dream was on the next side over. So we're here on this circle, and Mark from RV Camping Ontario is the next circle over, and then the next circle over from that is Imagine Your Dream. So what are the odds of that? We're all here on the same campsite on the same weekend. Cheers. Well, I think that'll conclude another trip this summer. This is the end of our trip to
Emily Provincial Park.
Emily Provincial Park. It's been what, a good 15 years since we were here last?
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of changes here since then. I think Nick was just learning how to ride his bike the last time we were here. And they've really made some nice improvements. I would say I have no problem giving this park 4.5 star out of 5 stars.
Yeah.
What about you, Sally?
Yeah.
What about you, Nick?
I'd give it a 5.
You give it a good solid 5?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty good park. And we got the bumper sticker.